Hello everyone, welcome to our module 4. So I know we are moving through this course so incredibly fast, and we only have just over 2 more weeks. And so if you look here, our module 4, in our module 4, we're going to shift our attention to our third project, which is a couple examples of brief communications. But this entire module is just over a week long. So these projects are going to be due on the final projects are going to be due on June 8th. So just keep that in mind. And then we'll have another week for the final project, which won't be as labor intensive. I'm not going to open this up right here. This is where you're going to be finding this video. But I do want to go through the instructions and the learning materials really quickly. As you go down here, the actual submissions are pretty straightforward. It's going to be our discussion, our yellow dig discussion. We're going to get into the peer review, which if you wait, you can get a jump on it and start it earlier. But if you wait until June 16th to get your rough draft in, that means that you are going to have just 24 hours to get your feedback to your peers, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to give you a heads up on that. And then we will have our final submission. But let's go over here and pull up the instructions. I'm not going to get into too much detail here because I've made another video. I'm just going to encourage you to watch this video as you study the instructions, because there are some points, especially when it comes to the second part, the adjustment letter, that I really need to convey to you so that your letter is both effective and complete, and it's written in a way where I can appreciate it as somebody who's just eavesdropping on the situation. And so do both. Study the instructions and then watch my video to make sure that you understand what's being asked of you. And please, if you have any questions at any time, do not hesitate to send me a Canvas message and ask me to, explain something, or we can get on Zoom and discuss it. I am so happy to do that. As far as the learning materials, these are important this week. We've got some readings in the textbook, and the writing negative messages is especially important because I think that is where we are going to be discussing the indirect method, which is going to be key to our projects this week. But look over everything. Here are some good videos. The first one is on different forms of communication in the workplace and memos and letters. This is important because these need to be formatted correctly in professional situations. The formatting of a letter or a memo or whatever it is, whether that formatting is proper or improper, makes a really strong first impression, for good or for bad. So watch over those. These supplemental material links are very important, okay? I'll get back to those in a minute, but those are the first one. And there's another page of learning materials that also includes information and videos. This video is really important because this is about the negative messages, because our projects this week are going to be focused on conveying negative messages to a colleague or to colleagues or to a customer. And it goes over that indirect method. So this is a really important video for this project, and it's well done. It's written by, it's expressed or created by a professor that I think does a really good job of creating videos. Again, here's more supplemental material. And what these are examples of negative messages, okay, that professionals have written and sent out to their customers. They are good and they are not so good, okay? And so look over those, because as we get into, let me go over here. Yeah, those are the learning materials. As we get into our yellow dig discussion, you are going to go back to that supplemental material and in either one of those learning material pages, and you are going to pick an example that you are going to write about, that you're going to kind of assess and analyze. And based on the readings, based on the videos and on especially the one on negative messages, you're going to do a little assessment and share your opinions on how well these authors, these CEOs, these people wrote and conveyed their negative message to their audience, okay? And so you're going to post on that, and have a discussion on those. And you guys are really doing great on the Yellow Dig discussions. I've been really impressed. And so the next thing we're going to be doing is the peer review, okay? And so get it in there early. Get it in there by the 16th at the latest, like I said. And then you will have your peer review instructions on the kind of content or the kind of feedback that you're going to be giving one another. And then I just wanted to quickly pull up the actual submission page and make sure that these are just the instructions again, make sure that you look over the rubric, because that is exactly what I'm going to be using as I give you feedback on your project. Again, reach out if you have any questions, but have a great week.